Alrighty, watch fans, Michael Davis here, and time for another Hotness Pick. Thanks for checking it out. Very happy to bring this to you, and as you have seen over the last few weeks, yet another new brand. So all that traveling, JCK, Basel World, and Switzerland, etc. is helping to pay off, bring some new and interesting looks. Kind of excited about this one, because it's even in the dressier option, which we'll see in a minute, this is a very automotively race-inspired timepiece. This is from NXS, as in NXS. See what they did there? Yeah. And it's called the Moto, and it's a great timepiece. Once again, those of you that are always on me about the larger timepieces and bringing those in, you're going to be very happy because the case diameter is 50 millimeters on this timepiece. We'll jump into all the particulars in a minute. Right here, I just wanted to show you the different color options. This one is probably the most classic sporty look out of the bunch. Silver tone with black IP, and then of course the red that you can see that's being used throughout on this. Not only is the bezel, but I'm going to try and scoot this out just a bit so you can see. The center links on the bracelets are being done in the black IP, so it matches the timepiece very, very well and is very race inspired. And many of you may say, hey Mike, this is your Hotness Pick, the hot buy, the Hotness Pick within the Hotness Pick, right? Almost was. But the next one, let me show you that one, because that's going to be Sparky's pick. All right, there it is. Is that hotness or what? I'm sorry. And look, I'm one of those guys. If you've been following me for a while, when I was on Shop NBC or Evine or whatever it is they're calling themselves now, or you follow me online, I don't do a lot of blue in my watches. But when I do, it's a unique shade of blue. This one works. And the way that it is paired up against the all stainless steel, because that's all you're getting on this, unplated stainless steel, 316L stainless steel, all silver tone, high polish or brushed. But look at that blue. That, what I am assuming is enamel work. By the way, that is not loom on any of these. I tried it out, tested them. No, they're going for form over functionality on this one, and that's okay. The style completely allows for that. So it's a really gorgeous look. If you scroll down the page, now there's going to be images that you can click on and enlarge, and you can see where I do the Hotness Pick. I'm going to show you an image of a car. If you know the Ford GT40 and the look that's been done on that, the Golf version of that, you'll see what it is that I'm talking about. Of course, that's my opinion. Yours may vary, but just look at that blue. You want to talk about something that is the perfect blue jean watch. This is it. This is the hot buy. The one we just looked at, I'd put you into that. I would have no hesitations, but this is the first pick. This is Sparky's pick. Let's take a look at the next one, which is going to be a little bit sleeker and sexier, I think. All right, now I'm getting a little bit of glare on this particular option, and I hope it comes out okay on the video, because I really want to do this one justice. Now, if you're the type of person who likes the triple black dial, well, not true black dial, but bear with me, right? Black case, black bracelet, right? The all black look in the watch with a splash of color that's really going to draw a lot of attention to your wrist. This is the watch. Now, I think their specs called this yellow, and I'm not a painter or a designer, I have enough problems dressing myself and making sure the colors don't clash. But to me, there's a hint of orange going on there, almost kind of a cream color that's happening here. But it's a perfect color combination with this black, because it creates such a contrast that's been done on this. So this is going to be an option for you as well. The all black look, splash of color, busy dial, multi-layered, by the way. We'll get into that in the detailed review. But that's just a good, sleek racing look on the wrist. Got one more to go, and it's the dressier option. And here it is, This is the last of the 4 options. And by the way, there's 4 more options that they make in the Moto. If these do pretty well with you folks, I'll reach out to them and see if maybe they'll let me have a shot at the other 4 as well, as I think some of those will interest you as well. But you know, with all the Hotness picks, when there's an opportunity, we always like to try and do a dressier option. And certainly this one is going to give that to you. The yellow gold look is always going to make a watch look a little bit dressier, but it's not 100% yellow gold. This one is done in the two-tone, and again, I'm going to back it up a little bit so you can see what that looks like. So you do have the 316L stainless steel unplated there as well. And by the way, if you want better looks at these, scroll down the page and you'll be able to pull up images that you can enlarge on either your computer or your handheld mobile device. Just saying. But this is going to be a little bit of a dressier look that's been done in that. I think I put on the sales page, if you want to look more like the team owner instead of the team driver, then this is the option for you. Now the quick specs, obviously the price point. $129.99 being done on this watch, and then as you look through this, 50 millimeter case diameter that's only 14 millimeters thick, so it is going to be very easy to wear. Surprisingly enough, being done in the 316L stainless steel, comes in a little under 200 grams, unsized of course, so that is going to make a difference for you. And one of the ways I believe they accomplish that is on the 22 millimeter wide bracelet. It is very thin compared to what you may be used to, but that was the idea behind the timepiece. Divers flip lock safety class with dual push button deployment that's been done on that. Impact resistant mineral crystal with sapphire coating. A multi-layered, multi-finished dial. Obviously the colors that are going on here, you can see that on each one of them. We're going to dig into that more. You'll notice the Swiss just above the 6 o'clock position, and again I followed up with these folks to make sure we are talking about Swiss made. They responded back in the affirmative, so you are getting the multiple jewel Ronda 5030D quartz chronograph that is being utilized in this particular timepiece. Comes shipped to you, in a fairly standard, I mean, I don't mean in a derogatory way, but a clamshell box done in like a bright racing orange, and that's packaged inside of an outer white box as well. So if you are going to be doing any kind of gift giving, this is a great opportunity. But $129.99 total, okay, and I had to double check that as well. Total, $129.99 total. You're going to be buying this through me via PayPal. Takes a credit card or debit card, or if you have a PayPal account, you can use that. Do not need a PayPal account. Please do not be confused on that. Scroll down the page. Each one of these watches has its own section. Click on the one that you would like to purchase. It'll open PayPal in another window. You send me $129.99, and then within about 24 hours, because they will ship once a day, you will have your timepiece, excluding weekends, by the way. So if you buy this on Sunday, it's going to go out on Monday. If you buy it Saturday, it's going to go out on Monday. You know what I'm talking about. So a great, fun, funky look, great colors. Again, I'm going to put you into the blue one. That's the one we're going to take a look at right now, and I'm just going to dive into it a little bit deeper, and then you can actually see how gorgeous it is. But thanks for checking this out. $129.99 NXS Moto. Have a look. Okay, let's take just a little bit of a deeper look, and again, I am picking my favorite out of the bunch. Am I biased? Yep, I love the looks of this timepiece. The blue against that silver tone is phenomenal. Like I said, scroll down the page, and by the way, scroll down the page. There's more information down there than, don't just click and, just have a look. But anyway, this is the Hotness Pick. This is my pick. This is Sparky's pick, and the reason why is going to be the blue. And you're going to see the blue being utilized on all of the hands, hour hand, minute hand, second hand. or I should say chronograph second hand, and then each of the sub-dial hands, one of which is currently being obscured, but sorry about that. And then, of course, the stencil style cutouts that have been done at the 12, 3, 6, and 9. This one being done in the all unplated stainless steel, brushed and high polish. Your other options are, of course, all four of them are 316L stainless steel. But then you've got the black IP plating on the all black version. You've got yellow gold over top of the stainless steel, and then black IP and stainless steel together with the red, the other very sporty look that's been done on this. Now, again, for those of you that are new, when we measure our timepieces to get diameter, we measure this way, not this way, okay? This way is going to give you 50 millimeters in case diameter. Now notice on this one, the very thin outer fixed bezel, by the way, that's been done on this particular timepiece is very thin. Now what that gives you, and I know many of you have heard me say this before, but the larger dial opening in relationship to the rest of the case is going to give you visually the play of a larger size timepiece. So 50 millimeters in case diameter. Now if you measure it this way, right, top to bottom, lug to lug, as us watch aficionados say, is 57 millimeters. Now, why do I give you that measurement? I posted on Facebook, I think yesterday. And if you're not on my Facebook page, it is a personal page, so I'm maxed out on friends. However, you can follow me. Click that button to follow, and you can read and participate. We're a very active group of well in excess of 7,000 people, just friends and followers. But when I posted about this and the fact that I secured another Hotness Pick with two different watch models with another company I met with in Las Vegas at JCK, they said, oh, I can't wear 50, I need this. Look, here's what you need to do. Don't let your wrist size dictate the size of watch that you wear. Okay? There's two reasons why you can't wear an oversized timepiece. The first is you don't like the looks of it on your wrist. And look, that's your opinion. I'm not going to argue with you on that. That ugly sweater your grandma sent you when you were 14 that you love, not going to argue with you when you still try to squeeze into that ugly thing. You know what I'm saying, right? Your opinion of what something looks like is your opinion. And it should remain that way, and you should buy your watches accordingly. The other reason that you would not wear a 50 millimeter timepiece, or even larger, but this one happens to be 50, is the way that it is designed. Now there are very large watches, actually watches much larger than 50 millimeters that guys with small wrists, down to like 6.5, wear. And the reason they can do that is the design elements, typically you're talking about case curvature, especially of the case back, the way the lugs are designed, and or the way that the strap or bracelet has been designed, or a combination of all of them, allow them to wear it. They can wear it comfortably. So what you need to do is measure your wrist in length. Like if your wrist was running underneath this, measure your wrist with that lug to lug and see what the comparison is on 57 millimeters. That's going to give you a good idea of what the comfort factor is going to be if you happen to have a smaller wrist. Now, if you just don't like the looks of a watch that size, more power to you. We'll have more Hotness Picks for you. So anyway, past that, a few things I want to point out besides this gorgeous blue, and I really want you to scroll down the page to see the race car that I showed you a picture of, so you can get an idea that I think this really ties into. I did not have the opportunity to follow up with them and see if that was a design inspiration, but whether it was or it wasn't, I think it matches, looks good. But the bracelet is very nicely done on this, very thinned down, so you don't get a terribly overweight timepiece. As I said, unsized, it comes in at a little under 200 grams, so still a good feel on the wrist. but not overly so. It's not one of those timepieces that weigh almost a pound, so you can easily wear this. Can ladies wear this? If you're comfortable with 50 millimeters and you've got the right wrist size, then yeah, I think you could. Obviously more designed for the guys. Sorry. There is a dual push button deployed class. I don't want to say deploy it. It's the full tang divers style that's been done on there with 3 adjustments as well. Impact resistant mineral crystal that does have a sapphire coating, so a lot of durability. Hope I didn't just write on that with my pen. And then the Swiss. Now we talked about the Swiss part. I confirmed with them via email, hey guys, is this Swiss made or is this like the decorative name that's put on there? You know, what's the deal? No, Swiss made. So the Ronda 5030D Quartz Chronograph movement that is inside of this is going to be the multi-jeweled Swiss version of the movement. Now the way they implemented this I think is great. Part of what is really appealing about this timepiece, besides the great colors and the way they integrated them into the design, is the dial work. So first of all, because this is an automotively inspired timepiece, and in particular the subdials by the 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock position, notice they are a rounded square. Okay. Now, the design element at the 6 o'clock, because it is on the metallic piece, which is separate from what you see on the main dial piece there, to me gives the impression of seeing, you know, a gauge on the dashboard of an automobile, or in particular, let's say a high-performance automobile, or maybe even a motorcycle. I'm not a motorcycle guy. Should probably ask my buddy Jim Skelton, who is. I don't know if they use round or square or what the deal may be. But I do know, and especially in the older automobiles, at least in my experience, I'm not a big car guy either. If it's got 4 tires and a steering wheel and it starts when I turn the key, I'm happy. But I do remember when I was a kid, the older cars tend to have more square pieces as opposed to the round, so I think that fits into the overall automotive and kind of a vintage design as well. Now, speaking of the dial, I want you to start at that very outside edge and then start working the way in. Notice the different colors. Now, some of them are a little similar, but in shade they change and in texture they change from the outside to the inside. A lot of detailed work went into the multi-layered dial configuration, the way that they have set this particular timepiece up. The other thing I should point out, since not all of you are going to be familiar with the 5030, it is a true chronograph, which means it operates like a stopwatch. You press the top button over here to start it and stop it, and your reset button is here at the 6 o'clock, and then obviously your crown to manipulate the time. Now, many of you may be familiar with the Ronda 5040D, the bigger brother or cousin, let's say. The only real difference you're going to have is the 6 o'clock subdial. Now, the Ronda 5040D has a fast runner, which is your 1/10 of a second indicator, which then after 30 seconds also turns into a 10-hour totalizer. The difference here at the 6 o'clock is it is a 12-hour totalizer. Okay, that means it's going to track hours up to 12 hours. So you've got hours, minutes. Chronograph seconds is the thin hand you see pointing to the 12 o'clock position. The 3 o'clock subdial there is going to be your constantly running second hand, referred to, if you see me talk about or write about small seconds or sub-seconds, that's what we are talking about. And then you have your 60-minute totalizer at the 9 o'clock position. Okay? So very easy to wear, great looking timepiece, a lot going on. And in case you missed it at the beginning, total price on this is $129.99. $129.99. No coupon code needed or anything. You are going to be paying me directly for this watch, which means when you click on the buy button for the individual watch and just scroll down, each watch has its own section. I put a big thing in yellow, highlighted in yellow, click here to order, and then I've got red arrows that point to, I mean, yeah, can't miss it, okay? When you do, it's going to pop open PayPal in another window. You do not have to have an account with PayPal. If you do not, just pay with a credit or a debit card, so it is a secure payment going through their servers, and you get the protections of PayPal as a buyer. That money will go to me. I transfer it to the folks distributing the NXS watches, and then usually, unless you're buying over the weekend, within 24 hours, your watch is winging its way to you. So, 4 options, great choice, low price point, a lot of fun, funkiness, and done at 50 millimeters. Thanks for checking this out. We are going to have another Hotness Pick next week. I am not sure which watch it will be. Either way, it is going to be a new timepiece to the Hotness Picks, as is the NXS with the Moto that you see being done here. Actually, the next 2 Hotness Picks, or should be brand new brands, I'm lined up to do 3 or 4 I've got on hand, and if you guys like the looks of this and we have some pretty good sales, like I said, I will reach out, because there are another 4 models that are also very cool in the NXS Moto, and we will I'll see what I can do to bring those in and let you guys have a shot at those as well. But there you go. It's the weekend here now. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you have a great weekend whenever it is that you're viewing this. But thanks for taking a look at this particular timepiece. If you've got any questions at all, if you're on the email list, just hit reply to the email. It comes to me directly. Or you can email me at info@hotnesspicks.com. And by the way, if you're not a member of the email list, please scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. Look for the big, crazy, angered woman, the picture of her, and fill out the little form. I don't spam you. Typically, you get 1 email a week from me, if that. Okay? So anyway, great weekend. Thanks for taking a look. Grab this blue. It's the hotness.